Morning. Welcome. What's up, everybody? Happy October. Happy birthday, Libra. Happy early birthday, Scorpio. What up? I was thinking when I got up this morning, I do this every morning. I basically do a morning pull on the earth to try to get my messages for the morning of like, what are we going to do with the collectives? What, like, example, today I'm reading Aries, Taurus, and Gemini later. So it's like, all right, got to see what's going on. This is like my morning overview. So instead of doing it on my own, I thought, what if we hung out and did it together? So morning, what's going on? What is it, about 7 a.m. Eastern time? I don't pay attention to I have my own time zone, so it's cool. But yeah, I'm like, let's hang out. This is what I do every morning. I sit down, I'm like, all right, God, give me a collective on the earth. And I'm like, why not just like hang out, with us? So instead of doing it on my own, I pulled the cards and I'm like, okay, let's just hit the button and go live. I sit here and do it anyways. The camera's just staring me down, and I'm a Leo Venus, so I like the camera. So it's cool. Good morning. What's up, Melissa? Hey, Debbie. Morning, Ashley. Hi, Oren. How you guys doing? Namira, how are you? Hey, Carla. What up? What's up, humans? That's a lot for me without glasses on. I'm sorry. I'm going to call you Human ID. All right, cool. Hi. Aries Taurus. Yeah. Today I'm going to do cards and coffee. I told you that'd be back. So we're going to do a cards and coffee at about 10 a.m. Eastern. And then at 3, 4, and 5 p.m. Eastern, rapid fire, 313-615 freestyle. I'll do Aries, Taurus, and Gemini, and we'll start the October weeklies. It's cool. Thanks for being here. If you guys missed it, Frankie and me did our collab. I might as well call it like an October collab. All right, so it's available, and I'll get the channel all fixed up and reset so you guys see it right on the homepage and on the link tree. Hey, what's up, Andy? How's it going? Hi, Mary. Thanks for coming by. How you guys doing? Everybody sleep well? Any weird dreams? I paused my dream control box last night. I was like, no, Archer just wants sleep. Archer, sleep. Sleep mode. What's up, Oogly? Morning. Good morning, Angel Eyes. What's up, darling? How you guys doing? Morning spinny hugs. But yeah, so every morning, I do this every morning. I've done it for ages, okay? And I'm like, well, instead of like FaceTiming people or anything or doing it by myself, I was like, let's get the message together. You know what I mean? Hey, Sarah, what's up? Morning. Hey, morning, Ralph. So I got the 5 of Swords. Today it's like, okay, what's up in the earth? What's our collective energy? And I got the 5 of Swords, the Death card, the Ace of Cups, the Knight of Cups, the 6 of Wands. This was where I did my ooh, and then the 7 of Cups into Justice, like cutting out options and going for the most successful one. But the 5 of Swords is what drew me. That when I as soon as I laid the 5 of Swords down, I heard live. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'll stream it so we can have the message together. So with the Death card, the Ace of Cups could be reading for Scorpio, Aquarius, Cancer, Leo, more Scorpio, and Libra so far. Star cards, overall energy at the bottom of the deck with the Ace of Wands and the Lovers. Gemini and Capricorn have entered the chat. Oh, and the 10 of Cups. Pisces. Hi. What's up? The others are still waking up. We'll give them a minute, but it's okay. Some of the Zodiacs are early risers. Some of them sleeping. It's cool. We're judgment-free zone. But on the Death card, there's a pain that you never imagined you could feel. And it's like when you have absolute certainty that you found your person, your soulmate, your twin flame, or whichever title you choose to apply to it. Judgment-free zone here. But in the 5 of Swords, it's when every fiber of your being recognizes that person as your other half. Like you feel a connection that transcends time and everything that you've ever experienced before, and then they reject you. Some of you guys might be feeling alone right now, a little bit of anxiety, wondering why things have happened with the Death card, when all you've looked for is some real love with the Ace of Cups, right? The Knight of Cups still shows that, I mean, even though you've been hurt and are broken down, that you still believe in love. Scorpio energy on the Knight of Cups. You keep asking yourself questions like, how is all this possible? How can someone who should be your perfect match simply not feel the same way? Name David might resonate to you. Who else we got listed out here? What other names we got, God? Throw me some God names. Jericho? No, that'd be kind of a cool baby name. Jericho would kind of be a boy's name, but that's kind of cool. Is somebody here looking through baby name books and like, hey, Archer, could you give me a hand with that? Well, not yet. I mean, like, I always thought names like Autumn were cute. What about boys? Cody's a cool name. I'll keep going. I'll work with you on that, but I'll help, whatever. Maybe Mama T says somebody at her school named their kid Archer. It's a good name. I dug it. I was like, yeah, Knight of Cups. Good choice. The thing on it is that It's like the entire universe conspired against you to show you heaven and then slam the door right in your face as if your very soul had been denied by the one person who should have recognized it instantly. And you keep asking yourself, how is it possible when you saw so much goodness? But the old hyperbole of everything happening for a reason comes into play with the Six of Wands and the Seven of Cups, Leo, Scorpio energy, fixed energy. What if I told you that your twin flames rejection isn't the twin? We'll just go with twin flame. Out of my whole friend circle, I was the one that got picked to do twin flames. Like, look how cool Frankie is. She gets to do motivation and manifesting. I'm like kind of like Paul was with the Beatles when Stu Sutcliffe left, and John and George were like, not it. And Paul's like, fine, I'll play bass. Which look what happened to Paul. So it's cool. So like when everybody else was like, not it, I'm like, okay, I'll handle twin flame. So we're going twin flame today. Might have a twin flame on your mind. It's a thing. I'm going to bet you your twin flame has you on their mind. Let's find out, shall we? This is literally how I do a morning poll. What's up, Kiara? All right, twin flame energy. Twin flame energy on the Six of Wands, Seven of Cups. Some of you guys could have a Scorpio or a Leo twin flame. The Tower card, well, I was already talking about that with the Moon card. Well, we were getting to the dreams. I just brought that up. And then the High Priest. Oh, he started in our short yesterday. Him and the devil wanted to do the short yesterday. That was cool. Or was that Monday? I don't remember. I need a calendar. Pisces, Cancer, Taurus energy at the momento. So, yeah, what if it's the beginning of something more powerful? And no, not just your standard Tarot 101, like typical, oh, you're going through an awakening. Yeah, no, we've all gone through those. Old news. That's so last timeline. So you just keep asking yourself how this could be something such a deep connection exists on, and how is it only on one side? Taurus, Pisces energy. You start questioning your own sanity, whether you really felt like what you felt. Was it all just an illusion? Was it all in your mind? And all it was about in the beginning was real love, right? Aw, thanks, Angel Eyes. I love you, girl. Do I get the ability to like stuff on this? I don't know. I'm using YouTube Studio now. It's kind of cool, but I'm not super versed in it. I will figure out how to like it later, Angel Eyes, but thank you. This reading is sponsored by Angel Eyes. Aw, somebody needs to get their eyes checked. Well, besides me, that doesn't really. Okay. Anyways, the thing on this is that your twin's rejection might be the most important event of your spiritual journey, like the catalyst that'll transform you into the person you truly came to be in this lifetime. It's actually more about you than it is about your person, you know? And I'm not trying to be all self-centered Leo Venus, but I have a Leo Venus, so let's go there. Cancer Sun too. Although I'm really just digging my Virgo vibes. I'm sticking with my Virgo placement. It's cool. It's cool. The catalyst to all of this that'll transform you into the person you truly came to be in the lifetime, you're going to discover what's happening to you, why it's happening, and more awakenings and more walking away from decisions and choices than you ever thought you'd deal with as you go through the 5 stages of grief that the 5 of Swords represents in my readings, right? In order to get to the 6 of Swords, where you see things in a different perspective. Aquarius energy. Hey, Tammy, what's up? Hey, Gypsy. What if just maybe you weren't rejected by your twin flame? Interesting. With the Death card, it's all about transformation. Scorpio, Aquarius energy. Pisces, Aries is here, Taurus, Leo. I noticed the further out, like not a lot of Capricorn, not a lot of Sagittarius just yet, but maybe they're the late waker-uppers. The Emperor, hi Aries, I was just talking about you. 3 of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, Violet Jessup's here with the World card. Nice, okay. Yeah, Aries just entered the chat big time. I knew it. But the thing is that before we understand like what happens after the rejection, it's the ability of grasping even what the twin flame really means. That's a pretty strong title to apply to people if they don't know you're applying it to them, right? Like, you're a twin flame. What? No, hold it. Wait, what? Right? I know, exactly. Some of you guys totally freaked your person out when you told them about it. But then it also started them on their journey, right? Things that are heard can't be unheard. The brain doesn't have a delete button. And the internet is totally full of dramatizations about the whole concept, and they confuse more than they clarify. And you've just been coming to tarot like forever for the raw truth, 3 of Pentacles, right? And you wind up with more questions than answers, to the point that some of you guys are even tired of tarot. Maybe you've recently unsubscribed to a bunch of channels and then come back and resubscribe. hi, subscribe here if you would. That'd be awesome. Love to have you be a part of the fam. But a twin flame isn't really your other half. That's the thing. It's not even the person who fulfills your emotional voids. And before you unsubscribe from me, hang tight. Just hear me out, okay? It's morning coffee. Just hear me out. Just hear me out. If you don't like it, then you can unsubscribe. But maybe it helps. Okay. These are how my morning polls are. It's kind of interesting, right? Okay. But the thing on this is, it's something way more complex and more transformative for both of you too. That's why even God led you to tell your person about it. No, yes, you freaked him out, but it was it was supposed to happen. That sort of a thing. It's cool. All right. So don't be mad about yourself for that. God's like, we told you to do it. It's okay. It's cool. So the thing about it is that it's more of the perfect projection of your aura, if that makes sense. Okay. Because the interior counterpart of the opposite sex that exists within each of us, because all of us possess masculine and feminine energies. Your twin flame is the beautiful reverse of you, right? You're not simply falling in love with just someone or a person. You recognize the fundamental aspects of yourself reflected into the other person. That's what compiles up the world card, all 78 cards in the deck in one, right? They come in to break us, destabilize us, force us to grow in ways you never thought you'd want to grow. Really takes you out of your comfort zone, right? And that's why the recognition becomes so immediate and so overwhelming. Tower card on the 6 of Wands. It's so perfect until it's not perfect. But then it starts to become more perfect. All right. I hope that makes sense. See, this is how I start my day. More coffee required. Hold on, 10 gallons, please. And I don't sleep in button downs. No button downs before 9 o'clock. It don't work for me. So, yeah. Okay. And I don't use the autographed Caitlin Petty t-shirt either, because that one's hanging up because it's one of a kind. And nope, you can't have it. It's mine. 2 of Wands. Oh, good. My Cancer placements are starting to wake up. Hi, Cancer. Okay. 2 of Wands, 4 of Wands into the Lover's card. There's our 4 of Wands. Told you it's not over yet. The Lover's card is happening exactly as it's supposed to. Because the Lover's card was originally called the Choice back in the days of Tarot de Marcel, back in the Tarot days. It was a party time, right? But it's more about the grand choice, not just paper or plastic, regular or unleaded. It's about the choice your soul and their soul set before you even came into this lifetime, that God's been lining up all these footsteps on the path. Gemini energy, all right? 3rd house energy is affected right now. Whatever you've got in your 3rd house, you may want to watch that signs readings. Cool. Not just mine, but all your favorite channels. I know y'all cheat on me. It's fine. It's cool. That's why we have an Archer network. They're all the people I trust. Get me through the days and the good times and the bad times. It's cool. The thing about it is this rejection happens because you guys were just both at different moments in your individual journeys, right? That's why every channel that says tarot, that the twin flame thingy is one soul. Nope. Right. No, you got your whole soul. You're cool. You complete. They just happen to be the chef's kiss perfect plugin for it. You know what I mean? It's like a plugin on an app. Okay, I dig it. So the rejection all happens because, in order to make both of you guys recognize and embrace a connection that this deep, right? That can bring up a lot of unrequited fears in the runners, right? Stuff they weren't ready to address because of different phases in the journeys. And when we project our dreams out onto someone else, basically we're essentially seeing that person's aspects of ourselves. Gemini energy, the art of mirroring. And it's like, whoa, if I were as awesome as that person's actually projecting out all the stuff that you were totally capable of doing. There you go. Gemini Capricorn energy. So it doesn't mean the connection's not real. No, it's real. So is the hurt. So is the fact that it feels like Roto-Rooter got shoved down your throat and ripped your heart to shreds. That is totally acceptable, and you're allowed to embrace your 5 of Swords journey emotions just as much as the next person. Everybody has free will, right? The thing is, it's totally real. The timing isn't aligned yet. Yeah. Think of it of like when you're tuning, like it's like Nashville drop D tuning, where you always got to mess up one string, right? And then you got to tune it back up later. It's getting all 6 of the strings to align so that you guys have the harmony of exactly what you see. Oh, yeah. if they reject you, it might be because they unconsciously perceive that you're more in love with your own projections rather than who they really are. Because sometimes they have been telling me that, like, sometimes they didn't feel noticed, that it was a lot all about what are we doing? What's next? And on this one here, they know it's because they never made time for you. And it's because of the intensity of a connection this deep that neither of you guys could approach it like any other connection or any other relationship. Some of you guys met in the weirdest of ways. Like, you guys have the most interesting how did you meet story, right? Some of you guys met and didn't even realize it was going to go anywhere. 9 out of 10 times twin flame journey starts with an ace of wands before an ace of cups. However, this one's different because it starts with the ace of cups and there's not an ace of wands. That means there's real love between the two of you. Right, Abby? Name Abby might resonate to you. I'm always guided to look at certain things. Beautiful soul. Ah, you got beautiful soul. Rowdy Hitman. No clue why I picked that name. Hi, Rowdy. No, Gigi. Anyways, it gets to be a lot. It can get downright annoying at times, like constantly going to the well and finding nothing in return, right? When we apply that title to the person and we project all of that out onto them, we put a very big workload on them to attempt to try to live up to something that they had no idea that they had to live up to it in the first place. Maybe it's that they themselves aren't ready to receive this level of intensity, right? 10 of Wands. Sagittarius has entered the chat. It's about time you woke up. What took you so long? Sitting here bragging about your 5 syllables and you show up late to the party. 9 of Cups. Oh, because prayers were being answered. Some of you guys that do wake up in the mornings very early, 3, 4 a.m. Remember, that's known as the prayer hour. Jesus woke up at 3 a.m. every morning as well. All right, especially before clocks and bedside tables. It was when prayers get heard and answered because the world is still at rest. Yeah, some of your black magic tarot readers, whatever. I don't subscribe to those channels. They'll call it the witching hour. I never was much in for that. I studied it to make sure you know what the opponent's playbooks are. And even when I studied it, I was like, why would anybody sell their soul to this crap? It's like, dude, God's already got the title and the paperwork, and he's like an employee-employer contribution program. He loves it when you say, Jesus, take the wheel. But so long as you put in the work, he'll match you sevenfold. You know, 7 times 7, 49. 0 times 7, 0. Ought from ought's still ought. And that's a lot of times what happens, right? The rejection becomes the catalyst for the deepest transformation of your life. And you're understanding that. That's what's allowing you to process through the 5 stages of grief faster than your person, right? Because you're further along in the awakening, because you're the one that awoke them. Except for those of you that they had like their entire birth charts handy already, or is anything Zodiac hanging up in their rooms, like a blanket or a poster, and then you come back to them. I'm your twin flame. For those of you this part resonates, they totally knew what they were doing, and you are actually on a completely textbook program journey that leads to the 4 of Wands reunion with the 6 of Wands. Boom, right there. Those of you who actually did awaken your person, that they didn't already have all the Zodiac stuff going down, right? When you're like, what's your birthday? December 20th. All right, but then that's like somebody that just knows they're December 20th, right? But then like, what's your birthday? And they're like September 6th, 1400 hours and location. Here's the GPS coordinates. And it's like, wait a second. They're like, I mean, I don't know any. September. I'm a Virgo. Something like that, right? Okay. What's up, T-Base Sosa? What up? Some of you guys could be Sag or Virgo. All right, that's cool. But it's that point that each of those 5 stages have their own challenges that lead to a great transformation after another, after another, after another, and then you elevate into the 6th status. Boom. So while the door's closed, you guys are both going through transformations. And because of the tight connection in your souls, if your souls were cars, you guys went down the assembly line, VIN number 1 right after the other, right? But that can still lead to differences, but that close. And when you finally incorporate all of those teachings and all of those learnings and insights from all these previous stages, you don't forget about what happened. You don't lose the love you felt, but you both transform into something much greater. 8 of Pentacles. Told you oh, dude, you're doing the work and your person's doing the work. And you guys do work well together. Some of you guys actually do work together, or you want to work together. What? See, this is how my morning stuff goes. I need Aries, Taurus, and Gemini now to make sense of all this. Yeah, exactly. King of Wands. I'm King David sitting there going, huh? Exactly. But it's what takes you there. Some of you guys could be born on the 6th, the 16th, 26th, 25th is there, 24th, 13th is up there, the 5th. Repeating 5s are stalking you. That's cool. 5s are good numbers. Somebody might even be a life path number 5. Got the 18th, the 12th, the 11th, the 9th, the 10th, which those two would make the 19th. That's the 1st. This one gives me the 7th and the 17th, and a 2 and a 7 gives me the 27th so far. Cool. Yep, this is how Archer wakes up. Best part of waking up is tarot and a cup. That was good. We're keeping that one. All right. Ace of Swords, King of Pentacles. It's about conversion, like Saul's conversion, and then into a more mature state. Because when I'm doing beginning pulls in the morning and I haven't tapped into, like, is it work? Is it love? What's going on today? Right now, it's about standard tarot meaning, which the Pentacles represent stability, maturity. Some of you guys could be on a Saturn return, and it's causing you to think of stuff differently. But with the Fool card, it's time to begin again. A cycle shows back up. It does its thing. This experience becomes a very big part of your internal wisdom and an internal reference for understanding and navigating future human connections with greater consciousness and maturity. Virgo, Aries energy, Libra's hanging out. Hi, Libra. Libra's entered the chat. Hi, Melissa. What up? Then you got, who's this? Page of Pentacles. That's Capricorn and the 3 of Cups. I now have all the cards of union out on the table. Wait, no, 10 of Pentacles isn't here yet. But I got the 3 of Cups, I got the 6 of Wands, and I got the, where's my 4 of Wands? It was here somewhere a moment ago. Hold on. Well, Justice, that's going to the chapel too. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, there it is, 4 of Wands. It was, oh, some of you guys are dealing with a Libra twin flame. Nice. Okay, that's cool. Easy Page of Pentacles. It's going to be okay. He's a page. He's young. He don't know any better yet. It's cool. But it does let you overcome the deceitfulness on the 7 of Swords, which takes the 5 of Swords of grief out of the equation to leave that 2 of Swords available. All right. Ace of Pentacles and back to the 8 of Pentacles. You guys are actually both working on coming back together for a new start and entering the promised land. And out of all the aces, the Ace of Pentacles, still my favorite ace to this day. Capricorn energy. That's the power to climb the mountain and get the job done. So that tells me the earth will find some justice and come in the direction of union based on the energies. 3 of Cups, the wedding at Cana, which is really cool because one of your guests is going to BYOB. So all you got to do is order water. Ha! Stay hydrated, y'all. That's just a message from a water sign. Oh, my Cancer placement is awake now. Okay, cool. All right. The person you became through this process, though, it's got a completely different energetical quality. There's integrity. There's completedness. There's inner peace that comes from having faced and survived some of the most challenging experiences of your life that some don't make it through. Even being here, receiving this message and hearing it out shows that you have come further than 99% of the world can. And that's what leads to the problems in relationships today, that they never last. Nobody's in it. Nobody's committed to it. As soon as the going gets tough, they bail, they book, they call, they do whatever they got to do. It's not like it was back in the days of biblical times and even marriages when it was looked at a much more place of sanctity. A lot of people seem to forget, for better or for worse, for richer or for poorer, in sickness and in health, so long as you both shall live, right? The husband or the wife, the boyfriend or the girlfriend, the partner, the twin flame, the soulmate, the buddy, the whatever you want to call it, they're supposed to be the ones that you can trust that'll be there for you. They're not supposed to leave you feeling like this. On a side note, for my masculines that are hanging out here, they're not supposed to be as clingy either. You guys are supposed to be confident, independent, but you masculines are supposed to make time for your feminines. All right? Straight up. Okay, real talk. See, Archer filter is not turned on yet. That must be my Virgo rising, but it's cool. The future relationship has a totally different quality because you can now distinguish between the authentic connection and an unconscious projection, right? That's the biggest transformation of all that leads to the 6 of Wands, so you guys can get together and work it out. All right. Yeah. Both sides have work to do. It happens. The people who complete the significant individualization processes, though, they frequently develop a transcendental function. It develops your psychic gifts, the intuition to be a human lie detector. It strengthens your ability to manifest based on energetical pulse. It takes you into a newer energy for the feminine to be more attentive to their masculine, so the masculine can still maintain some masculine qualities. Y'all don't, not everybody's got to be suburban Uber gray sweatpants guy. It's my pajamas. That's not funny. expect me to sleep in a suit. I have slept in a suit before. Sometimes I get tired. But it's also where the masculine takes the time to nurture the feminine. All right. And some of you guys are the feminines, the nurturers in your relationships. There's no gender here. This is where it all goes into the gray space, right? Totally. It's the ability to embrace what each of you are designed to bring to the connection in the relationship. Because you wouldn't hook a semi-trailer up to a freaking Ford Ranger, right? You'd get the proper equipment. And that's the thing. It's about having everything proper so that you know every intense experience and transformative potential that comes in grows forward in order to retrospectively grow from the continuing. So everything you're working to manifest now, all the messages you channel, all of your dreams, it's all getting you ready for the future ones that are all for two. So you're looking out for them as much as they're looking out for you. And that's how we get to our equal reciprocity that many people lack in today's relationships, right? Somebody always picks somebody else over something else. And that forces you to go in deep, soul level deep, right? And really find yourself. It transforms you into a person that is capable of loving and being loved in ways you can't yet imagine. Like how us tarot readers will say, it's like out of the million ways you can think of that this reunion will work out, right? That no, Archer, they moved away. Archer, they did this. This happened. That happened. It makes us all nervous because we're humans, right? God's sitting down there going, yep. God's sitting there up there going, yep, exactly as I planned. But God, this happened. And then this happened. Yep. And then that happened. It's like when Noah was like, wait a second, hold it. You mean I got to build the boat, right? Yep. And then I got to go find the animals. Yep. Even bees, even box elder bugs. Yep. And then I got to get them on the boat. Even rabbits. Yep. Spiders. And then God listens very patiently to everything. And then he looked at Noah and he said, how long can you tread water? Because you can't fight fate. It was going to happen one way or the other. And everything that does happen happens to lead you guys right back into each other's arms. It's written in the blueprint. It's meant to be. And everything you're learning right now, granted, the journey isn't easy. It's a very big roller coaster ride. Aries and Gemini energy on this one, right? Not to minimize the pain you're feeling, because you still have feelings too, and your feelings are valid just as much as your person's. Neither of you should have to ever hide away your feelings, right? But there's a way to communicate them, Gemini energy, third house vibes, along with the 11th house and the 12th house vibes of Aquarius and Pisces. But the thing is, it's the ability to communicate in a preventative way in order to, this is what would trigger me and set me off so that you guys can actually talk through it, work through it, block that, and move forward, right? There's a way to do it without fighting. There's a way to communicate without fighting. Thank you, Tia Via. I love you, girl. Deep within you, if you recognize your own journey, and if this message resonated at all, do know and trust that everything that's happening between you and your person and to each of you is for a very solid founded reason in order to grow the connection that is getting ready to happen between the two of you guys. All right. So I hope that helps. And thank you guys for hanging out. First little bit of just morning pull with me. I'll be back at, we'll do about 10 a.m. will be Cards and Coffee. It's back. It's October. All right. And then Aries, Taurus, and Gemini will be later on this afternoon, all live. And otherwise, make it a good day. Make it the best day yet. And until later, peace and love. Yes, I'm going to go get my dress clothes out now.